Hello and welcome everybody to my channel Omni Bio Entrance, and today we will be discussing University of Hyderabad MSc Entrance Examination question paper for the subject Molecular Biology, Molecular Microbiology conducted in the year 2007. So coming to the first question, the mode of arrangement of sepals or petals in a floral bud with respect to the other members of the same whorl is known as estivation. Find out the right order from the figure given below. So first is the valvate condition, then comes the twisted condition, and this is imbricate, and the for last one is vexillary. So the answer here is option A. Then sucker fish like echinus attaches to the underside of a shark by means of its sucker, which is a modified dorsal fin located on its head. Name the association exhibited by these individuals wherein the former gets benefited by its association while the latter is almost unaffected. So such an association, that is a relationship between individuals of a two species where one is benefited and the other is almost unaffected, that is called as commensalism. So the answer is option B. Next one. The main constituent of cuticle is cutin, which is made up of. So it is made up of a mixture of hydroxy fatty acids. Cutin is an insoluble polyester compound composed mainly of saturated C16 and C18 hydroxy fatty acids. So the answer here is option D. Then which of the following statement is not true for HFR strains of Escherichia coli? Sorry. F factor is integrated in the genome. That's correct. Chromosomal markers are transferred from donor to recipient. That is also correct. They act as donors in the cross. HFR strain act as donors. That is also correct. Progeny of the cross is always becomes F+. That is not correct. Because if you see a typical conjugation, the recipient cell become F+ after conjugation because it receives the entire copy of the F factor plasmid. But this does not happen in the case of HFR conjugation because due to the large size of the bacterial chromosome, it is rare for the entire chromosome to be transferred into the F- cell because the time required is long and the cells will not be able to maintain the physical contact for transfer. So the entire bacterial chromosome along with the F plasmid is not fully transferred into the F- cell during conjugation. So therefore the conjugative transfer is not complete and the recipient F- cell does not receive the complete F factor sequence and it does not become F+. So the answer here is option D. Then next one. When a flower can be divided into two radial halves in any radial plane passing through the center, it is called as actinomorphic flower. Answer is option. Then a researcher was conducting Vidal test in his lab. For what purpose this test is conducted? So this type of serological test is to identify the typhoid causing bacteria in a patient. So answer is option B. Then when benzaldehyde reacts with phenyl hydrazine, the resulting compound is benzyl phenyl benzaldehyde phenyl hydrazone. Answer is option A. The union of a hypha with another resulting in intercommunication of their genetic material and the phenomenon is called. This is a repeated question. So answer is anastomosis. Answer is option D. Then the incorrect pair among the following is. So cyanobacteria, it is a primary producer, grasshopper, primary consumer, eagle, top carnivore, zooplankton, secondary consumers. Zooplanktons are primary consumers, not secondary consumers. So that is the incorrect pair. Then the protein energy malnutrition observed in infants and children resulting from simultaneous deficiencies of proteins and calories causes marasmus. Answer is option C. Then match the following proteins with their biological role. So albumin. Albumin is osmotic balance of blood. 1B. Fibrinogen. Fibrinogen is blood clotting plasma protein. 2A. Then globulin is antibodies in defense, immunoglobulins. So 3D. Heparin is blood anticoagulant. 4C. So the answer here is option B. Then next one. In plants, molybdenum deficiency causes one of the following symptoms. What is it? It is molting and necrosis. Answer is option A. What is the chemical nature of taurine? So taurine, it is an amino sulfonic acid widely distributed in animal tissue. Answer is option A. So coming to the next question. In the common daisy, the gene capital A small a and capital B small b represent two pair of alleles acting on flower color. Capital A and capital B are both required for color. How many plants with colorless flowers will be found in the F2 of a cross between two colorless plants, one homozygous for A and the other homozygous for B? So these are the parentals, that is capital A, capital B, small b, because they have told that the parents are colorless. And these are the F1 parents, and this is small a, capital B. These are the gametes that are produced, and this is the F1 offspring. Upon crossing the F1 selfing, the F1 offspring, we will get the F2. And these are the F2 gametes over here, and this is the Punnett square showing the possibilities. So they have asked how many plants with colorless flowers will be found in the F2. That is those genotypes which lack both A and B, which lack either A or either B will be colorless. If both A and B are present, then they will be colored. So out of these, only 7 of them will be colorless out of the total 16. So the answer here is option C, that is 7 in 16. So coming to the next question, an example of non-protein amino acid among the following. So non-protein amino acids are amino acids other than the usual 20 amino acids which are incorporated into the proteins. So in this the example of non-protein amino acid is cannavanine, option B. Then next one. The mechanism by which resistance to a virulent strain of plant pathogenic virus is conferred by prior exposure of plants to a less or inactive form of the virus is called. It is called cross protection. Answer is option B. Then which of the following shows vestigial stomata? So hydrilla shows vestigial stomata. Answer is option D. Which among the following is spliced out of an hnRNA? So introns are spliced out of an hnRNA molecule. So answer is option A. Then next one. What is cyclostomata? Cyclostomata, it is the name of a class in vertebrate division. Answer is option C. Then cytolith is made of one of the following. So a stalk-like crystal of calcium carbonate formed inside an epidermal cell by crystal growth onto an ingrowth from the cell wall. A cell containing a cystolith is known as a lithocyte. So cystolith are calcium carbonate, made of calcium carbonate. Answer is option B. Then cobalt-60 radiation is generally used in pharmaceutical and animal husbandry sectors. For what purpose this radiation is used? So this radiation is used for cold sterilization of antibiotics, hormones, medical equipments, and pasteurized meat product. So answer is option D. Then next one. A cross is made with Drosophila having genotype capital A small b, small a capital B with another genotype that is small a small b. If the genes are closely linked and there is no chance of crossing over occurring in this region, the resulting progeny would be. So this is the genotype of the parents, that is capital A, small b and capital and small a, capital B. They both are linked and there is no crossing over here. So it will produce only two types of gametes, capital A, small b and small a, capital B. And this parent is also having linked genes, and it will produce only one type of gamete, that is capital A, small a, small b. And when upon crossing, that is, this is the small Punnett square I have drawn over here for showing the crossing, you will see that 50% will be capital A, small b, and 50% will be small a, capital B. Or I can say that 50% of the progeny will be phenotypically AB, that is capital A, small b, and 50% will be phenotypically small a, capital B. So the answer here is option D. The next one. Sulfonamide or sulfa drugs are structurally related to sulfanilamide, which is an analog of para-aminobenzoic acid. Answer is option A. Sigatoka disease of banana and Katte disease of cardamom are caused respectively by. So black sigota is a fowler disease of banana caused by the fungus Pseudocercospora, and Katte disease of cardamom is caused by cardamom mosaic virus. So the answer is option A, that is fungus and a virus. Then sickle cell anemia is a monogenic disorder that produces abnormal hemoglobin S, resulting in sickling of erythrocytes. Which of the following is incorrect about sickle cell anemia? So carriers of the sickle cell allele are resistant to malaria. That is correct. Then red blood cells carrying mutant hemoglobin become sickle shaped when deprived of oxygen. That is also correct. Individuals with 2 copies of the sickle cell gene have the disease. That is also correct. Individuals afflicted with sickle cell anemia are 2 times more likely to be males than to be females. So sickle cell anemia, it is an inherited as an autosomal recessive pattern. So that means both male and female are affected equally, and both parents must carry a defective gene for a child to be diagnosed with the disease. So individuals will be more time likely to be male is wrong. So the incorrect statement about sickle cell anemia that is wrong is option D. Then next one. The rate of transpiration can be measured by, it can be measured by a potometer. Answer is option C. Then next one. The process by which glycogen is converted into glucose is known as, it is known as glycogenolysis. Answer is option D. During mRNA processing, which of the following is added to the 5' end of the mRNA transcript? So 7-methyl-guanosine cap is added. So answer is option A. Which of the following bacteriophages was used by Seymour-Veneur for fine structure analysis of the R2 gene? So it was T4 phages. Answer is option B. Then Cran's anatomy is found in one of the following. It is found in the case of C4 plants. Answer is option B. Then the process of formation of the formed elements of blood comprising of erythrocytes, leukocytes and platelets is called. It is called as hemopoiesis. Answer is option C. Then Bordeaux mixture is used in vineyards to prevent downy mildew and powdery mildew is a mixture of. It is copper sulfate and slaked lime. Answer is option A. Cyclosporin A, which is used as an immune suppressive agent in organ transplant patients, is isolated from. So it is isolated from Trichoderma polysporum. Answer is option D. Then next one. DCMU, dichlorophenyl dimethylurea, also called diuron, is a potent herbicide which kills plants by. So it kills plants by inhibiting pigment system 2. It inhibits photolysis of water as it is a strong inhibitor of pigment system 2. That is what DCMU does. Then next one. In some of the vertebrate, the alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tract open into a common chamber which opens into exterior. This chamber is known as cloaca. Answer is option A, that is cloaca. Then next one. The membrane-bound organelle which detoxify molecules such as hydrogen peroxide in the cell. So it is carried out by peroxisomes. So peroxisome, it contains the enzyme that is catalase that convert hydrogen peroxide to water and oxygen, thereby neutralizing the toxicity. Then next one. All of the following statements are true of DNA mutation except one of the following. So the recessive mutation arise due to loss of function, that is correct. Dominant mutation arise due to gain of function, that is also correct. Majority of the mutations are recessive in nature, that is also correct. Dominant mutations are not expressed in heterozygous condition but only in homozygous conditions, that is also correct. Answer, so that is wrong. Okay. So answer here is option D, because dominant mutations are not expressed in heterozygous condition. They are actually expressed in heterozygous condition and also in homozygous dominant condition. So answer here is D. Then next one, indole 3-acetic acid IAA generally inhibits growth in one of the following plant parts. It is roots. Answer is option A. Then which of the following causes Kala-Azar in man? So it is Kala-Azar, also known as visceral leishmaniasis, is a condition of chronic systemic disease transmitted by the sandfly vector. It is caused by the protozoan parasite of the genus Leishmania. So it is caused by Leishmania donovani. Answer is option A. Then next one, select the molecule which has only one pi bond. So the answer here is CH3CH double bond CH2, that is having only one pi bond. Then a fungus which grows on bread obtain its food by. So hyphae of the bread mold penetrate the bread substrate, secreting digestive enzymes and absorbing the soluble products of digestion. So secreting enzymes into bread. Answer is option C. Then next one. Colchicine, a chemical mutagen, is obtained from which part of colchicum autumnale? So it is obtained from the corm, CORM. Answer is option D. A special characteristic feature of cnidarians comprising of jellyfish and corals is the occurrence of. So they have the occurrence of nematocyst. Answer is option D. Then next one. The generation of carbon dioxide during respiration take place in. So it take place in the cytoplasm. Answer is option A. Which one of the following is used in the reclamation of alkaline soil? So answer here is cyanobacteria could be used to reclaim alkaline soil because they grow successfully on saline or alkaline soils where most other plants fail to grow. So the answer here is option C, that is blue-green algae. Then next one. In nature, phenotypic variability is essentially continuous because of all the reasons listed below except each genotype produces a discrete phenotype without being affected by environmental variability. So each genotype does not produce a particular phenotype without being affected by environmental variability. There is environmental variability also comes into play. So answer is option A. Then identify an anamniot among the following. So it is fish. It is an anamniot, whereas others are amniotes. Then X-rays are produced when one of the following events take place. That is cathode rays strike a metal target. Answer is option C. Then the unique feature of mycoplasmas which distinguishes them from other prokaryotes. So it is absence of cell wall itself. Answer is option D. The next one. Algae are always, they are photosynthetic. Answer is option B. Then uricotelic animals are those that excrete nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid. Which among the following is uricotelic organism? So bony fish, that is aminotelic, birds are uricotelic, frogs are ureotelic, and mammals are ureotelic. So they have asked which of the following is uricotelic, so it is birds. Answer is option A. The two strands of a double helix are held together by, this is a repeated question, answer is option A, that is hydrogen bond. Then, when performing a tetrad analysis in yeast, it is noticed that the ascus contains 4 kinds of ascospores. One that is like each of the parents and the 2 that are recombinants. What is this kind of ascus called? So it is called a tetra type. Answer is option C. So parental ditype is when no crossing over occurs or 2-strand double crossover occurs between 2 loci, then parental ditypes are produced. Then a 4-strand double crossover between 2 genes results in 2 kinds of spores that do not resemble parents and are called non-parental ditype. Answer is option C, that is tetratype. Then next one. Which among the following is celebrated as World Environmental Day, that is June 5th? Answer is option B. The nature of nutrition of most of the parasitic protozoa is, it is holozoic. Answer is option B. Then which of the following salts has the same value of Van 't Hoff's factor as that of K3FeCN6? So K3FeCN6 on ionization give 4 species, 3K plus and FeCN6 3 minus. And AlNO3 also gives 4 species, that is 1 Al3 plus and 3 NO3 minus. Thus both will have the same value of Van 't Hoff factor. So answer here is option B. Then McFadyen's reaction is employed for the presumptive diagnosis of, it is for anthrax. Answer is option A. Then the chemical substance found abundantly in the middle lamella of plant cell, it is pectin. Answer is option D, because middle lamella is composed of calcium and magnesium pectates. Then excessive richness of nutrients in water bodies result in dense growth of plant life by a process called, it is called eutrophication. Answer is option C. Then next one, phosphorylation dephosphorylation of proteins is an important mechanism of enzyme. So it is a mechanism for enzyme regulation. This is also a repeated question. Then next one, which of the following is a secondary pollutant? So PAN, peroxyacetyl nitrate. That is an example of secondary pollutant. This is also a repeated question. Then the stages of parasitic protozoa that actively feed and multiply are called, they are called trophozoites. Answer is option A. Then Grignard reagent react with ketones with subsequent hydrolysis to give tertiary alcohols. Answer is option B. Then psychrophilic halophile would be a microbe that prefers the following conditions. So it prefers cold temperatures and increased amount of salt. Answer is option B. Then Krebs cycle starts with the formation of a 6-carbon compound by chemical reaction between, so oxaloacetic acid and acetyl CoA. Answer is option C. The 6-carbon formed is citric acid, and this reaction is catalyzed by citrate synthase. Answer is option C. Then which among the following is commonly called sububul? So it is leukemia leukocephala. Answer is option B. Then lysozyme is present in one of the following. So it is present in the saliva. Answer is option B. Then the respiratory quotient is more than unity when the substrate is. So when the substrate is organic acid, the respiratory quotient is more than unity, and respiratory quotient, it is given by the formula volume of carbon dioxide evolved to volume of oxygen absorbed. So this is in the case of oxalic acid, that is this one. This is oxalic acid, and you get the respiratory quotient of 4, that is 4 carbon dioxide divided by 1 oxygen, so you get 4. That value is more than unity. Then if you use malic acid, then you will get 4 carbon dioxide divided by 3 oxygen, it is 1.3, that is also greater than 1. And if you use succinic acid, then also you will get respiratory quotient value of 1.14. So the respiratory quotient is more than unity, that is more than 1, even the respiratory substrate is organic acid. Answer is option A. Then next one. Which of the following is not a method by which organisms genetically resist drug? So transfer of R factor. Then synthesis of enzymes that inactivate the drug, decrease in drug uptake and the drug permeability into the cell, modification of an essential metabolic pathway. So the answer here is transfer of R factor. Answer is option A. Then hydrathodes possess the following in their anatomy. That is, they possess water secreting glands. Answer is option B. One of the following function describes the role of contractile vacuole in a protozoan organism. So it is for maintaining the osmotic balance by continuous water expulsion. Answer is option A. White lead is a mixture of the following compounds. It is basic lead carbonate. Answer is option D. The next one. The most selective antibiotics that are those that interfere with the synthesis of synthesis of bacterial cell walls. Answer is option A. Then the blue-green algae are often found associated with. So blue-green algae, they are found associated with cycas. That is, the colloid root of cycas harbor the blue-green algae. Answer is option B. One of the following is a remarkably hardy freshwater fish, though surviving in waters of very low oxygen saturation, high salinities and high temperatures, can be used in biological control of mosquitoes or larvicidal fish is. So the fish is Gambusia. Answer is option. And next one. An organic acid which undergoes both dehydrogenation and decarboxylation is. So it is alpha ketoglutarate acid. Answer is option B. The phenomenon called pseudodominance could be demonstrated in a heterozygote when it carries. So pseudodominance, it is the appearance of a recessive phenotype in a heterozygote containing the recessive gene on one chromosome and a deletion or only part of the dominant gene on the corresponding part of the homologous chromosome. So answer here is phenomenon called pseudodominance could be demonstrated in a heterozygote when it carries a deletion. Answer is option A. Then root parasite producing largest flower is, that is Rafflesia. Answer is option B. Then Aristotle's lantern, a masticatory apparatus consisting of 5 large calcareous plates surrounding the mouth and used for feeding, forms a characteristic feature of one of the following. It is echinoidea. Answer is option A. Then for an acid HA, the pK value is negative, indicating the acid is completely dissociated. Answer is option A. Then organisms which have spore forming stage in their life cycle and lack special locomotory organs belong to which phylum of protozoa? It belongs to Apicomplexa. Answer is option C. Which element is essential for photolysis of water? It is chlorine that is essential for photolysis of water. Answer is option. The passage called foramen of Monro which interconnects the two paraceles with one another as well as to the third ventricle called diaceal is found in It is found in the brain. Answer is option C. Which mineral is essential for the activity of the enzyme nitrate reductase? So it is molybdenum that is essential for the activity of the enzyme nitrate reductase. Then which type of genomic studies the transcript and proteins expressed by a genome? So it is functional genomics. Answer is option D. Then safranin stains are produced from. So they are produced from lignified cells. Answer is option A. It is actually not safranin stains are produced from, they are stains which stain lignified cells. A special voice box which is characteristic of birds and is located at the posterior end of the trachea and its junction with the bronchi to form bronchi for producing sound is called. It is called as syrinx. Answer is option D. Then which of the following molecule possess dipole moment? So CH4 is zero dipole moment. CH3 is non-polar molecule and will only have London dispersion forces. So CHCl3. Answer is option C, that possess a dipole moment. Then viruses are not capable of doing one of the following things. That is grow and replicate on their own. So that is not possible with viruses. Answer is option D. A sudden change from anaerobic to aerobic respiration due to availability of oxygen is. So Pasteur effect is exhibited in yeast cells during anaerobic fermentation. Pasteur effect influences the rate of glycolysis and occurs in presence of oxygen, which decreases the rate of sugar breakdown in yeast. So a sudden change from anaerobic to aerobic respiration due to availability of oxygen is called Pasteur effect. Answer is option C. Then classification of phylum Porifera is based on one of the following. So it is based upon the presence and composition of spicules. So the answer here is option B, spicules. Then the shrunken condition of a cell is brought about by the process of. It is brought about by the process of plasmolysis. Answer is option B. That is, it is a condition in which cells lose water in a hypertonic solution. Then next one. The physiologically receptive state in which a bacterial cell is able to transform is called as its competence or competent. Answer is option B. What is the substrate in protoplasm respiration? So protoplasmic respiration is a mode of respiration in which the protein is used as a substrate when there is a shortage of carbohydrate. So the answer here is option C, that is proteins. Then a steroid hormone secreted by a pair of prothoracic glands in the thorax of insects and by Y organs in crustaceans which stimulate molting and metamorphosis. So it is ecdysone. Answer is option C. The type of glass used in making lenses and prisms is. It is flint glass. Answer is option D. Then the toxin of Staphylococcus aureus that may result into scalded skin syndrome is. It is epidermolytic toxin. Answer is option C. Then when a cell is fully turgid, which one of the following will be 0? So suction pressure will be 0. This is also a repeated question. Answer is option A. Then next one. A substance produced upon viral infection in a cell that can protect other cells from further infection is. So it is interferon. Answer is option B. Then all of the following species are considered coliforms except Salmonella typhi. Answer is option C. So that's it. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.